This afternoon in these sacred moments, we remember that in death, just as it was in life, we are still connected with our loved ones. At the rising of the sun and at its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now part of us, as we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we're lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joy we crave to share, we remember them. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. When we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now part of us, as we remember them. This afternoon, your highest responsibility is to celebrate the memory that Sharon leaves behind. If we could hear Sharon speaking from the edge of eternity, imagine with me for a moment what she might tell us. She probably would say, thank you for being here on such a beautiful afternoon. Sharon would probably say, thank you for the past, thank you for being there to encourage her and to love her, to laugh often with her, maybe sometimes to cry with her, sometimes to dream about the future, maybe sometimes just remembering all of those fascinating stories from the past. You come here to celebrate the memory of Sharon K. Arthur. Sharon was born September the 9th, 1972 in K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base in Michigan. She stepped into eternity to be with God April the 2nd at the age of 49. She leaves behind a lifetime of family, friends, and unforgettable memories. God is with us this afternoon. God is not silent. In ancient times, when our ancestors came to a place called death, they went to the Bible to find their comfort and solace. And we're not any different this afternoon. We come to the same Bible. We seek the same comfort from the same God. Let me take you back some 3,000 years ago to the writings of King David. He writes a familiar passage of Scripture that we've read often, Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm not afraid. I fear no evil, for you, God, are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemies, even mine enemy called death. You have anointed my head with oil, healing oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and at the end I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. David also penned these words in Psalm 90. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were born, or you gave birth to the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, you were God. You turn man back into dust and say, return, O children of men, for 1,000 years in your sight are like yesterday when it passes by. Or as a watch in the night, you have swept them away like a flood, and they fall asleep in death. And in the morning, they are like grass which sprouts anew. And toward evening it fades and withers away. For we have been consumed by your anger, and by your wrath we've been dismayed. You've placed our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence. For all our days have declined in your fury, and we finished our years like a sigh. And as for the days of our life, they contain 70 years, or due to strength 80 years, yet their pride is but labor and sorrow. for soon it is gone and we fly away into eternity. Who understands the power of your anger and your fury according to the fear that is due you? So God, teach us to number our days, that we may present to you a heart of wisdom. David had a son, his name was Solomon. Solomon penned these words in the ancient letter of Ecclesiastes, and in chapter 3 he writes about life and death, time, and eternity and everything in between. There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every event under heaven. There's a time to give birth, and there's a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to shun embracing, a time to search and a time to give up as lost, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear apart and a time to sew together, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. I find these words of comfort also in that letter of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. It is here that Solomon writes about the aging process with time and grace. May happen to some of us. Remember also your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come and the years draw near, when you will say, I have no delight in old age, before the sun and the light, the moon and the stars are darkened, and the clouds return after the rain. In the day that the watchmen of the house tremble and the mighty men stoop, and the grinding winds stand idle because they are few, and those who look through the windows grow dim, and the doors on the street are shut, as the sound of the grinding mill is low. And one will arise at the sound of the bird, and all the daughters of song will sing softly. And furthermore, men are afraid of the high place, and their terrors on the road, and the almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper drags himself along, and the caper-bearer is ineffective. For man goes to his eternal home, while mourners go about in the street. Remember God, before the silver cord is broken, and the golden bowl is crushed, and the pitcher by the well is shattered, and the wheel at the cistern is crushed. Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return unto God who gave it. In the letter of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse number 28, the prophet writes about why we have gathered this afternoon. Do you not know, have you not heard, the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, does not become weary or tired. His understanding is inscrutable. He gives strength to the weary, and to him who lacks might he increases their power. And though youth grow weary, tired, and vigorous young men stumble badly, yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength, and they will mount up with wings like eagles, and they will run and not get tired, and they will walk, and they will never become weary again. In the letter of Lamentation, in chapter 3 and verse 22, Jeremiah, the prophet, writes these words: The Lord's loving kindnesses indeed never cease, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness, and the Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I have hope in him. And the Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the person who seeks him. It is good that he waits silently for the salvation of the Lord. In the New Testament book of Matthew, chapter 5, we often remember these words as the Beatitudes. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. And he opened his mouth, and he began to teach them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. I read these words of the Beatitudes celebrating Sharon's memory of 49 years. And obviously, the Beatitude speaks about our behavior, how we act with one another while we're living in this world. But looking beyond our behavior, it speaks about the memories that are left behind long after our loved ones step into eternity. I find these words of comfort in the Thessalonian letter, in 1 Thessalonians 4:13. It is here that the Apostle Paul writes these words to a grieving church. But we do not want you to be uninformed, brother, about those who are asleep in death, so that you will not grieve as do the rest who have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep in Jesus. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord will not precede those who have fallen asleep in death. For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. And then we who are alive and remain will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we always be with the Lord. Therefore, comfort one another with these words. It was the 4th century. St. Augustine prayed this appropriate prayer. God of our life, there are days when the burdens we carry chafe our shoulders and weigh us down. When the road seems dreary and endless, and the sky is gray and threatening. When our lives have no music in them, and our hearts are lonely, and our souls have lost their courage. Flood the path with light, God. Run our eyes to where the skies are full of promise. Tune our hearts to brave music, God. Give us the sense of community with heroes and saints of every age, and so quicken our spirits that we may be able to encourage the souls of all who journey with us on the road of life to your honor and your glory. Amen. In the days to come, the weeks, the months, the years, however long it might be, what will it be most about Sharon's life will you remember? Perhaps a word she used often, or a mannerism that she had, a favorite song, a favorite place, maybe a favorite food that she always wanted to prepare, especially during the holidays, maybe a favorite program on the television. I'm simply suggesting what everyone knows, Sharon stepped across into eternity. You can no longer reach out and embrace her physically, but you'll always be able to reach out and embrace the memories and the stories that are left behind. Let me pause for a moment this afternoon. Perhaps there are those that are sitting among us that you have a memory, you have a story about Sharon that you'd like to share with us. We'd like to hear it. Let me invite you to come to this pulpit, speak from this microphone, and we would be able to hear everyone. And again, who would like to be first? Coming and sharing. Come ahead.
Everybody's pointing at me.
Come ahead. Yes, ma'am. Come ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is David. I'm Sharon's cousin. It's amazing. 7, maybe 8 years ago, I drove her down here from Idaho. And look at all you people here. You're all from Texas, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't know any of you. It's so amazing, and it's touched so many people of you. So thank you for being a friend, close friend. I have a few short words. And I just want to take a moment to share a few words about my dear cousin Sharon, who is more like a baby sister to me. Sharon, you loved us all, and we loved you. I'm trying to come to grips with how to go on without you. There's something about your contagious smile, no doubt given by your dear mother, who we have missed terribly too. Your unbridled outdoor can-do attitude inspires us all to live a kinder, simpler way. You live for the moment. Never waste an opportunity to live life to the fullest. Sharon loved dogs. I can't know how many over the course of her life she had, but I know her Corgi, D-O-G, that's her name.
D-O-G.
And today her beautiful core misses her, noticeably, terribly. The best of us depart much too early, don't they? She was my youngest cousin in my family, and so was her mother and her family. Died first. Yet they towered amongst us in spirit and love. Sharon, your big heart will be missed. We believe time will go on, and before you know it, time will pass us by. I encourage all of us to hold each other through the good and bad times, like Sharon did. We'll go on loving each other, and every one of us, and every one of you, forever. Thank you.
My name is Mary Ann, and I'm David's wife of 32 years. And just as Sharon was a baby sister to him, she was very much the same for me. I'd like to speak to you today as a wife and a mother. And I'd like to say a few words about our family that may have been forgotten to be mentioned amidst the shock and the haste that our family has been going through in these past few days. First and foremost, Sharon was a mother to Ryan, a mother-in-law to Sammy, a grandmother to Deegan and to Deborah, and a loving partner to David. She was an only child to Penny and Dayton Pepe, who have preceded her in death. She was a niece to her Uncle Ronald Blake of Groveport, Ohio, and to Jean Blasky and Jim Blasky of Chicago, Illinois. Her Uncle Richard, also known as her favorite fishing buddy, also preceded her in death. Despite being an only child, Sharon was also a loving cousin to Rhonda and Tony Reamer of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Lori and Ken Nelson of Dubuque, Iowa, Shelley Blasky and Kiri Blasky and Karen Blake of Antioch, California, and John Blake of Chesterfield, Michigan. We have a rather small, spread out family, but make no mistake, it is a family filled with love. For me, Sharon was much more than a cousin-in-law. We even had funny names for our relationship. Among them, soul sisters, sister from another mister. Our relationship was full of love and passion, sometimes heat. But love always prevailed. We would send each other hundreds of texts about every subject under the sun. We talked about all kinds of wacky and verboten topics. We loved to talk smack, we loved to gossip and snicker, and laugh and just be our silly selves, just like everyone else. I knew that my relationship with Sharon was genuine. It was from the heart. It was one that never needed any sort of veneer or pretext. It was one that was based on love and acceptance, on support, and never judgment. I will forever miss our impromptu psychoanalysis sessions. She was the best and cheapest therapist I have ever known. It never cost me anything more than a meal or a couple of hours of my time, and she always mended my soul in a way that only she could, with compassion and understanding and input, but never contempt. She always said that she never dreamt that she would end up in Texas. But I always told her that life has a way of figuring out your path. I always told her that there was a season and a reason for everything. Little did I know, 7 years ago, when Sharon was at a crossroads in her life that brought her to Texas, that Sharon was entering the twilight, and the reason for her coming here was because it was now a season to tie up loose ends and bring her closer to her closest family. Well, Sharon, as much as I have always promised to love and support you and be there for you always, we now promise to love and support Ryan, Sammy, Deegan and Deveray, and of course David, to be there for them in good times and bad, and to love them through life just as you would. So Ryan, I want you to know that although you have lost your mother, you have gained 2 parents, and we will love you and be there for you every bit as much as she would. So you can take comfort in knowing that for everything you lose, you also gain. I want all of you to remember Sharon for everything that she was. A friend, a confidant. I want you to know that she is there with you always, in the beauty of nature, in the sunshine. And I want you to also be like her and never forgetting to be kind to others, to be giving of yourself, sharing what you have, and giving a voice to the forgotten. I will always remember her with her favorite songs and her favorite places. Every time I hear Redneck Girls by the Bellamy Brothers, or walk along the forests of her beloved Crystal Falls, Michigan, I will think of her and smile, and I will know that she will be with me. With all that being said, I would now like to thank you for coming today to celebrate her life. I would also like to invite those of you that would like to do so to share your favorite memory of her. Thank you.
Good memories. Are there others? Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. To Sharon's family, my name is Barbara Clapp Ziegler. Sharon was my best friend. It's good to see all of you, and I want to thank you all for coming. I said I would get through this for her without having to shed a tear. I was all cried out. I see there are a couple left. To David, her cousin David, family, you're right. Sharon was the best. What you see is what you got, and she's the best friend a girl could have. She was the greatest co-worker, always with a smile. She always had a positive attitude, and she loved the things that she did. I used to think of Sharon as constantly being free-spirited, because if she wanted to do it, she did it. She didn't wait. Her best things to do were go fishing. I can't fish. Go hunting, I can't shoot anything. When she met David, we were so excited because she felt like her heart had met the heart that she wanted. Ryan, she loved you.
Yes.
The things she would say about you that only a mother would say. She loved your children. She loved your wife. She loved us as friends. She loved us as co-workers. She was not just an employee to us. We could depend on her, just like you, to talk about everything and say everything, and then laugh all about it, and then walk away. It's good to know that she was here. I will never forget her. To all of my coworkers that came today, if you are like me, we're trying our best to get through this, because we will miss Sharon so much. I will remember all of the good things that she shared, all of the photos. Every day we would talk, every single day. Socially, I feel like I know you. I feel like I know all of you through all of our conversations. She was the best spirit. Angels are like her on earth, and now our angel is in heaven. If you don't mind, say a prayer, a silent prayer for the family right now, for strength, prosperity, and joy, because that is what Sharon wanted, and that's what she lived for. An angel gone too soon. I wish you share. Thank you.
A lifetime, 49 years. Good memories. Come ahead.
I just wanted to take a quick moment, as Margaret had mentioned. My name is Chris Walsh. I managed Sharon for quite some time at City, and just letting you know, more than just a co-worker, Sharon was an incredible friend. She came every day, not as a friend, but also a co-worker, with the spirit and that passion for everything she did, whether it be in her work with clients, whether it be with her co-workers, whether it be in volunteer activities. Everything was done with passion and spirit. And I think walking away from this, it's important to leave a legacy. The legacy I think she's left upon us is do it 100%. Do it with spirit, do it with passion. Love what you're doing, love your family. I also share too the stories, and I've gotten to know David. We have that shared passion of fishing and dogs. And I couldn't wait for those days when they come back from a trip. We'd exchange pictures back and forth. When I went back and I reflected on some of those pictures, I think I had about 50 pictures of fishing, hunting, dogs. So again, those are the things I want to remember with Sharon. We were blessed. We were blessed as a team to have her. We were blessed to get to know David and family. And I also echo, she absolutely loved the family, the grandchildren. So with that, thank you. I feel fortunate. I feel blessed. And I'll miss her dearly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for bringing all of those beautiful memories and stories to this sacred place. If there are no others, listen now to this next beautiful song.